they'll give you one. Let's bring Dr. Dale in. She's waited long enough. Let's bring Dr. Catherine Dale in. Give her a warm TDH welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You've experienced all types of live stuff today, technical issues, attention live to see what they got, make sure they got banana splits. Do you eat banana splits?
I used to eat banana splits, plenty with like chocolate syrup. Is that a thing too? Yeah,
Yeah,
and whipped cream, like
yeah.
fresh whipped.
And nuts and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yep,
I
yep.
mean, if they have a healthy version, because I know you're a health person, I'm sure we'll make it happen. I can't believe. Did you hear that record banana split that I spoke of? Like all those.
I was imagining a very long banana, and then you clarified it in my mind. I thought it was like the a world record long. I just was maybe it was the Bermudian banana.
No, it was in Pennsylvania. A 4.5 mile banana would definitely be a that would have been a record. But Dr. Dale, thank you so much for being a friend of the show, always coming back. Sandra, Sherry, or Larry, they haven't scared you off, so we appreciate you. So today, talking sexual health, like sexual. Let's just define as we get into the conversation. What is sexual health and sexual well-being? What does that mean? And folks, if you have any questions or comments for Dr. Dale, please send. The segment is Ask the Doctor.
Yeah. So our sexual well-being has to do with so much about how we feel in our bodies, how comfortable we are with ourselves. It has to do with our ability to communicate what's important to us, what we desire, our preferences, and really to be honest with ourselves and with the people around us about what makes us feel comfortable and what makes us feel good in our bodies. And there are things that could be going on in our physical health, our emotional health, our spiritual health as well, our understanding of our place in the world that could be affecting our sexual well-being. So it's not only the physical things that are going on, but it's really about how we perceive ourselves and perceive our beings in the world as sexual beings. So it's so it's really important for us to be communicating with one another and communicating and being honest with ourselves as well.
And how do we get there, Doc? Because I mean, I went to my doctor earlier this year, right? And my blood pressure was high, right?
Mm.
And she had a very honest conversation with me. Look, you need to figure out what it is. It's not just food, whatever, and you need to deal with that. It was the first time, I've had very good doctors. This is not to shame any, but like she became a therapist to me as well, right? Like,
Mm.
just eye to eye contact, and we're not doing anything else. You need to fix this. What can people do in this space? Like, what can we do to get to what you just described?
Yeah, it's important that whenever we notice anything that's going on with our bodies, anything that's changed in our understanding of our bodies. So it could be that we're feeling more tired. Some of the biggest issues that I deal with at North Shore Medical are insomnia, digestive issues, and fatigue. So when those things start to creep up, sure, it's something that we'll talk about, but it could be related to other issues that are going on. It could be also affecting your sexual well-being. So things like high blood pressure and anemia are affecting your blood flow, so those are things that are going to affect how you're feeling when you're with your partner, or you're expressing yourself, your physical and emotional experience of your sexuality. So what we need to do is make sure that we are checking in with our doctors. We're talking to them. I'll have people who come in and say, they haven't been able to talk to their partners. They haven't been able to talk to the people around them that they're, intimate with, that they're spending time with. So it's important that we talk to someone about things, because it can be something physical that's going to limit our well-being, but it also could be something emotional, traumas that we're holding on to, resentments that maybe we're holding on to or believe that other people have towards us. So our emotional health is really important, and your doctor is a place to start for that. Here at North Shore Medical, I'm often using homeopathic remedies or just talk therapy. It's important for us to express ourselves and to be honest, and sometimes it's harder to be that way, with which is, it's sad, but it's a process that we go through in being able to be comfortable with ourselves and express ourselves with others. But here at North Shore, people feel very comfortable to talk to me about things. I think also being from away, people are, not worried that I'm going to talk to anyone else about it, and they feel so much better and well supported when they're able to be honest about what's going on with their bodies.
Well, you speak to that. Go a bit deeper about the services that MAC offers in this respect.
Yeah. Well, along with having a conversation about what's going on emotionally, of course, we want to check the physiological signs that we can look at using testing. So we would, of course, be looking at what's going on with your blood. So if there is, an anemia or a deficiency in different vitamins, we can take a look at that. Of course, I'm looking at hormones. So there's a test that I have people take home with them, and it's either a saliva or a blood spot test, and that way I can see whether there is some change in their hormones, because hormones play a huge part in our sexual well-being as we get older, or if we're under stress or something traumatic, or something changes in our lives, our hormones can be affected by that. Women will know. They'll know that their menstruation, their cycle has changed, their period has changed, and that's a big part of what I do. I educate young women, and often, the mothers are learning a lot too about their anatomy and their physiology of their menstrual cycle. So I'll be able to chart that with them, and I'll be able to see whether the hormones are changing, whether there's an imbalance somewhere. And then also Dr. Brown and Dr. Eswick, they offer very specialized services, the P shot and the O shot. And those ones are both very effective in enhancing our functioning, encouraging growth, allowing people really to feel more confident. That's a lot about sexual well-being, is feeling confident in ourselves, feeling self-love, having a greater self-esteem, knowing that we are functioning the way that we want to, that we're communicating the way that we want to, that we're really taking ownership, and really feeling that we have agency in our choices.
Um, it I, how do we get across the uncomfortable part of this conversation? Because I know you mentioned you not being Bermudian has made people more comfortable, but small town and small community, how do we get to a space where people are more comfortable having these conversations with their general practitioners?
The way that it starts to happen is by having a conversation like this, and letting people know that I've had men and women, all different ages, come in and talk to me about how things are changing, how their function, their sexual response is changing, how they are feeling that they're not being heard, and really that a lot of times their partner is like very caught in a certain way of seeing themselves, and as a community we need to have this honesty with each other, this acceptance that even if I have a different opinion than you do, we can still continue to have a conversation, and that we must be able to accept that we're not going to change the way other people feel. However, people will listen to what we are needing, what we are wanting for our own lives. I find in my relationship with my husband, we've been together for over 25 years, and the clearer that I am with him about what I would like and what's important to me, he's able to be accepting of that as well. But it's not only in our relationships, of course, it's also within our families, allowing our families to, express different ways of understanding things. And rather than jumping right to your answer, when someone starts to talk, rather than jumping right to how you feel, really listening in. I had I was at an event last night at Masterworks, and I was really inspired by a community of people that are expressing who they are. And if there's one thing as a human that is, an evolution of being a human, is allowing yourself to be honestly who you are, and to have a whole community or expectation of being allowed to express, being expected to express who you are honestly. When we're all honest with who we are, and we're allowed to be, we're allowed to express, we're allowed to ask, we're allowed to fulfill what it is that we need, that gets us to a completely, another level of being able to be honest with each other, being able to connect with each other, which is really what sexual well-being is about. It's about connecting not only to yourself, but also connecting to another being, right? To connecting to what's higher than ourselves as well, to this like creative, generative energy.
You mentioned earlier, like a lot of things that can lead to, I guess, poor sexual health could be insomnia, high blood pressure. Um, what are some natural ways that we can improve our sexual health?
Yeah, those are some good places to start. If we look at what we're eating and what might be deficient in our diet. I find a lot of people do have a different type of diet. So maybe if you are eating a more of a vegan diet, or you've cut out certain categories of foods, you want to make sure that you're still getting those nutrients. A lot of vegans are familiar with B12, and that one is directly related to our sexual function and our well being. And it's also something we test here at North Shore Medical. Um, I believe you already did mention about the contest that we're having as well. So be sure to access that in the coupons that we have. So you can use that towards visits here and also testing. So the anemia is something we mentioned as well. Um, and then, so making sure you're getting good food. Exercise, you know me, I've always talked in the past too about the importance of movement and exercise. And the thing about our sexual well-being as well is if you don't use it, you lose it. Use it or lose it, right? So the more you engage in expressing your sexual self, being with your partner, being with yourself, and enjoying your body, the more you increase your libido. Circulation increases as well. They're finding um, that men are less likely to have prostate cancer if they're engaging in more activity as well. There's studies on that. There's also studies on women's well-being and health as well. The more we're engaging in activities with our partner, and of course, I'm talking about a loving, connecting partner. There's the oxytocin that's released that connects us, that also makes us feel relaxed and calm. It affects our immune system, our heart health. And yeah, there's just so many benefits by engaging in sexual activities and engaging with our partners that can help. So we're looking at our exercise and our food, and with sleep. I talk to a lot of people about the right way to prepare for sleep. I did actually an interview with Shadon early on when I first arrived here on the TV, talking about the importance of sleep hygiene. And that's a whole other conversation that I have with my patients as well. So putting down the phone, the thing about our bodies and our sexual well-being is so much of it is about being present, being in the moment. You can't force your response. You can't force this is what's going to happen now. It's so much of it is about letting go, just being in the moment, being present, being with your own body, being with the bodies of other people. It's an opportunity for us to engage in a wonderful, creator given, God given pleasure. And then it adds to our physical health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health as well. So it's just all encompassing, like naturopathic medicine is. It's from digestion to sleep to what we're consuming will all affect our sexual well-being.
Indeed. Folks, if you have any questions, comments, send them through. Just remind people how they can get in touch with you to, again, uh, just have these conversations with you or your colleagues at NMAC, and what you can do for them. Is there like a what they call it, like a first meeting? What they call those things? Consultation. Is there
Yeah.
like that? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, they just actually North Shore Medical has an online booking system now. So you can go right onto our website, nmac.bm, and you can book online with me, with Dr. Dale. You can see my Instagram handle there, Bermuda Naturopath. You can also, oh, there's my email. Thank you very much. It is Dale, not Dill. That's K Dale at NMAC. And then also our phone number, 293 5476 here in Bermuda. And we have lovely front desk staff making appointments as well, if that's easier for you to do. But an initial consult with me means that we're talking about everything that's going on, and I encourage people to bring up the topic as well. I will bring up the topic of how they're doing with their sexual well-being, and it's open conversation here, no judgment. I know I've lived all over the world. I've lived in all sorts of different cultures. I have family that's very diverse. You know, this week of events is, I feel that it's very auspicious that I'm here on this day because expressing ourselves. I mean, we've been talking about it uh, since the 80s, since Madonna, and expressing ourselves. And so I feel this is a great opportunity for people to really start the conversation. And I'm happy to have this conversation in the office with people and help them really just engage this part of their lives and use it as a way to communicate with themselves and with others.
Indeed, indeed. Dr. Dale, thank you so much. Again, these are conversations that were not normal in these spaces for so long. So
Yeah.
definitely entering a new day.
Yeah.
I have a quick question from the audience. So Michelle White, she's saying, okay, so what you're saying is that blood pressure, prostate issues, insomnia, and overall good health can be resolved with good responsive sex. Go for it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to be, with someone else. There's other ways that you can, if people are single or, in a different place in their lives, that kind of expression, that release in our bodies is really what helps lower that blood pressure and release what's in our bodies. So much of life is about letting go of the past and moving into the future. And that's the same with our sexual health. We have to just let it go, let go of it all.
Tell me about it. Dr. Dale, thank you so much. Again, until next time, another good conversation. And folks, again, you can reach out to a follower at Bermuda Natural Path or on the screen right there, send an email, kdale@nmac.pm. Dr. Dale, we'll talk to you soon.
Alrighty. Have a great day.